What is up, guys? Got a fun deck for you today, and yes, I'm back. It's not a full-out return here, but I'm hoping to get a couple videos out here and there, as I've had some kind of life and work things even out a bit, so we're able to fit a little bit more Gwent time in there. Now, the deck I have for you today is an Enslave 6 deck, and I gotta say, this thing is pretty powerful. It can be a little bit wishy-washy in terms of, like, it really pops off, or other times you're just getting really smacked. It kind of depends a little bit on certain key cards getting full value, but there's still some kind of point slamming nature to this where it can just kind of pull through on some rounds based off of that. And there's a lot of ways to build Enslave 6, but I really find this way to be one of the better ones. And I'm not going to break down every card here because most of you know what they do. Most of you are probably already skipping to the gameplay, but I'll kind of point out some key things and a little bit what you're looking for if you're a little bit newer or just don't fully understand. And so a huge combo here, and that we're really paying attention to, is Artod Terra Nova. When you seize with the leader, it gives it spine, and so Artod can play it. I actually had a game where I managed to seize a Damien and then play one off of Artod and then play my own, so I just had a million points going there. But that gets you the spine thing, and then your amnesties, and it's really important that we play Devotion to get these. If you're not looking to do Artod, you can completely shift up the entire way you want to do this. You don't have to focus so much on being Devotion. Another big thing here, so with, I don't know if it's Jan or if you'd say it like Jan Calvite, either way, a lot of these 4P cards, unless you see them in round 1, you're probably not touching, so they kind of tend to just be filler. Like, yes, we get some good value out of it, we need it, but they're just really there. The important thing is we're going to see all our golds, and then we're going to see some of the 5P ones. An important 5P here is the new Nausicaa Sergeant. This card is really strong, and it's really good in this deck because Battle Prep is a tactic, so obviously Hefty Helg synergies or our Fire Scorpions if we have them, if they stick, things like that. And then it also is Assimilate procs, which Imperial Diviner, and another thing with Artod. So I just want to point out that 5P card. Now you do have to pay attention that it's if your opponent has won a round this game. So if they win round 1, then you can play it round 2, or it's going to have to come in at round 3. So with Jan Calvi, you're probably not seeing this till round 3, but it's going to come in and be a nice clutch couple points there. So another huge interaction, kind of the reason why people are going back to Enslave here, though, is the new Stefan Skellen card, or the reworked, I should say. The synergies here are crazy, and another reason to play Artod. So if you have Artod down and you have Hefty Helga, Stefan is going to spawn 4 of these because we're in Slave 6. So it's going to give 4 charges to your Hefty Helga, which, you know, that's 8 points of damage. On top of the 8 points of damage it's already dealing here. And then each one, that's 4 Assimilate procs, which can go on your Artod or onto your Imperial Diviner. It's just a whole lot of points. So you ideally want like either a long round 3 or a, you know, long round 2 if you can, or just go all out in a round, because basically everything here is working really tightly together, so it's like a full round commit for the 2-0, or you just get them in round 3. Because having Hefty Helga and Artod down, slapping something like Stefan down is just a crazy amount of points. Do not sleep on Artel here. Absolutely crazy good card. You have to consider the boost he's knocking off a card that you're putting it back. You have to recognize that if it's not a boosted card, you're slowing down tempo on your opponent, making him replay another card can really slow down engine decks. And whatever card he draws, that value is basically attributed to Artel by bringing that into your hand. So very underrated card. I think people still overlook how incredibly strong this is. And he's returning up to a 14 power card, which is phenomenal. The other thing to note here, I've mentioned Diviner a little bit, and you might be wondering why that's here. It's not for the Assimilate, it's for the Purify. Just the big thing with the control deck is, since we can't run like a Heat Wave or something because we're using up all our non-unit spots to be in Slave 6, is that if they slap a Defender down, yes, we can get some damage into it and seize it and things like that, but that's really slowing down our ability to get our own engines down and get moving. So just having a Purify is incredibly helpful, and a Peller would be better to play, but because we need this devotion, we're running it there. Assimilate, again, we do have cards that are proccing this, even Bribery, I haven't mentioned that. So it's getting some value. Issue with Jan Calvite here is we might not see it, so you kind of have to hope that you draw it round 1 or hold off on playing that Jan Calvite till round 2 to see if you can get it into your hand. But just being able to Purify their defender and then attack is really good. And the last thing I'm going to mention here is you have to really balance here between controlling a lot of your opponent's side and setting up your own. I definitely focus on just getting more of my engines down and then just mopping up the floor later. So you'll notice I'm only running 1 assassination and I'm not running any coded weapons. Like, we're really just looking on getting our Hefty Helga down and our Artod down and then just shelling out so many points after that. And then Damien, if defender sticks, you're safe to play him. Again, with a 12-point leader, I mean, that's 18 points. It's pretty freaking crazy, on top of shutting down whatever your opponent have. Also another setup for Artod here. If defender's answered, if you know your opponent's deck, sometimes you can just slap this out really early. Like, if they're a deck where they got to get control up on the board and then they're going to shut it down, then you can just go ahead and play them early, or you can kind of save it towards the end where all of their lesser answers minus a Heat Wave is going to answer them. And the trade with Heat Wave isn't too great with this. And the last couple things I'll note on the deck here is Coup de Grace is very easy to set up in this deck, so you can get some massive steals with it. It's very nice. Obviously, tactic synergy. And then Fion here. If you know your opponent isn't running control, you can play him later because it's an Assimilate proc, and then it's also a tactic proc. So again, Hefty Helga, Artod, Terra Nova. So I hope I've kind of give a little idea of what most of the cards do here and some of the combos you're looking for. And let's hop into some games. Okay, so this is the Harmony Milva. Yep. So they're definitely winning round 1 here, so we just kind of play whatever. That's actually really bad to have, because we want those staying at the bottom of the deck, and we could draw into it again since it'll be a mulligan. Don't you just love losing? Yep. They don't miss a beat, do they? They don't miss a beat, do they? You know, it'd be amazing right now if I was actually running Treason. See if we can get a leader charge out of him. Here it comes. Nope, he's doing a curse scroll. You know, something that bugs me is how in the premium of this, how she lifts that flag up when it's clearly supposed to be a flag like set into the what's the word I'm looking for here? Whatever, like the wall, the armaments. There's a better word, but I just can't think of it. Okay. We'll just go and protect that. Make sure you pay attention to when Heat Wave. Dude, there's no way he just Heat Wave that.
I don't recall.
Okay, man. Well, these are terrible.
This moment, I've seen it already.
But yeah, Heat Wave being gone is massive, because that eliminates so many things he can answer. I guess we play one more? could just go and get my top deck set out. I think we could come back if we needed to in 2 cards. He's gonna play. Alright, we're passing here. Because I'm just gonna lack any sort of tempo. And plus, he's got another card game pulled out here pretty soon. Okay, so he committed Percival, Saskia, and Heatwave. We really, like, we pretty much played 4 Ps, and then we did play, you know, Calvite here, but, you know, it's a card you want to play round 1. It's thinning. Thinning, you know, just different form. Yeah, get rid of that. Are we kidding? What's up next? Yeah, we definitely need that. Alright, so we go Fion here. He might, well, if he has a Purify, it'd be that elf one probably. I feel like that's one they use. And, no, they'd probably just use Power. This isn't Devotion, so never mind. Ignore all of that. I was thinking it's that, what is it? I don't even know what that card is called. He's like swinging down on a rope. Man, I'm awful with names. Okay, so yeah, you go here. What are we looking to seize exactly? Maybe the tree? So before he uses the order. But anyways, he wouldn't be able to purify his stuff because he doesn't have an elf on his board if he did have that one. Huh? Yeah, I don't think that's working, buddy. Yeah. Good job. So what are you killing here? He's got to have damage, right? Or he just didn't think it through. He didn't think it through because he's like, oh, I can move Hefty Helga twice, but he's not thinking that, hey, one of those times is going to be behind Defender. Oh, yeah, there we go. He's going to try and draw into damage. Fingers crossed here for the high roll. That's the movement one, which is pretty strong. Oh, he missed the damage. Huge. Huge. What a disgusting combo. We can actually... So yeah, Ku onto what's his face is gonna be huge. We can pull out, I guess, ointments here. That's actually what I probably needed to set up a little bit better. Whoops. Yeah, I should put 1 damage into him. He's gonna high roll it. You just know it's gonna happen. Okay. Okay, nice. Makes his poison trash. Okay, here we go. Get ready for some points. I heard you guys like points.
Why should I, an elf, a sage, converse with an ape.
Yeah. Do we... I think we just let it die. Like, I don't want to play into poisons or anything. Can seize that next turn if I need to. Alright, cool. Cool. We still have a leader. He's probably not going to have any answers towards that because he really effed up on that defender Helga play. He did not think that through. Okay, perfect. I think we're going to kick this, and then we probably just keep this hand because if I mulligan again, I probably hit the Mage Assassin. So, yeah, this will be our hand. Do we lead with this to try and maximize, like, assimilate value? And we need to make sure we play this before that because he's going to draw into a card. Is Purify? They're not running Defender. Yeah, we'll just play that. We'll just play it out. Oh, there's something on this? I never noticed a little skull thing on the premium. Okay. Okay.
Defeat them with hunger, crush them with thirst.
Gonna go ahead and seize that. Do we just go ahead and play this out now? Yeah. I don't think he's going to have an answer. And if he does, he's going to have to waste turns playing that to answer it. Which, again, Harmony's just more a point slamming one, so it's not like other forms of engine. So I guess it wouldn't matter pulling back the turns. Like, your points are going to be the same. But I don't think he has an answer. Oh. Good thing he doesn't have what's his face. There you go. We had him. Yeah, so him using leader trying to kill Helga, that really lost it for him. That shut down a whole lot of utility, so that was probably the play that decided the game. But I mean, yeah, you can see some of the points shelling out there when we play these combos. Handbuff, eh?
I forgive you.
This is, I think, a matchup that can swing either way really hard. I don't know if we're gonna need Purify. Definitely are gonna want a bunch of control stuff. We'll kick that because there won't be anything to pull now. I don't think we want 2 Tourney Jousts. We don't want that. Okay, this is a questionable hand. So we're definitely leading with Fire Scorpion. Question is, do we boost it? I think it's very doubtful they're running anything that's going to punish that. Unless they just want to Heat Wave it, which Heat Wave into that is very favorable for us, but something like a Geralt would suck. Which I had that happen to me in a game. Wasn't expecting the vanilla Geralt, gotta say that. Do you remember when that card could damage 8 or lower? That's actually a significant buff if they ever bump that back.
This moment, I've seen it already.
Okay. Let's see if we can get a hand buff of ourselves going. just gonna float the charges. Make sure we can shut off engines. Like Dunka, and then the, what is it, Hawker Smugglers? Is that the, or they're on the boat? Because then there's Hawker Support, but I think it's Smugglers. Maybe he's got like a Francis, Bedlam. But yeah, we really want to win round 1 here, and then hit them hard round 2. So we got to pay attention to our tempo here, because if we wait too long and they back out of the round, we won't have our time to play our Yawn, and then we might not draw into our good cards. So I'll go ahead and take that. Again, I'm going to float the charges. There's no way he passes here, because then it's just a win. Okay, so I think we're going to go ahead and go this now just to make sure it's in.
I shall not repeat Emir's mistakes.
See if we can get him out of this round. What in the world?
Aye, as soon as I finish my pipe.
Okay. Okay, that's Puts a random Scoia'tael unit in your hand, so we don't want to do that. We want to do this.
Special prize, just for you, love.
Just keep going on to Helga here. Okay, what is he doing? You play that, and then you're just out of the round? Like, yeah, it's only an 8p card, but that's one of your huge payoffs for Handbuff that you want to save. Alright, this might be a 2-0. Yeah, we want these two. Coup, I don't know if that's really getting us a whole lot here. But I think we'll take it over Attorney Joust, and then we mulligan one more time, and is it guaranteed Fion? Yes, it is. And we have a short round after that if we need it. I really think we're kicking Diviner. I really do. Do we risk the Heat Wave or the lock? No. So we go Fion here. You just sometimes might want to lead with Helga because you get the extra thing on it. But yeah, we got a short round because we're getting Blightmaker into Nausicaa. Well, depending on how our mulligans went back into the deck. But I think we might be able to 2-0 here. Especially if he has no control. Kind of feel bad for him. Like, it's always so rough when you try to play a deck like Handbuff and you run to like super control that is able to completely shut you down. But at the same time, he could still just get enough Handbuff to completely just point slam us out. And especially if we can't 2-0 and he hangs on to one of his big units, that's danger. That is danger. Also, anyone else disappointed that the premium here doesn't actually shoot the bolts? It just has this like stutter. Okay, so that's how you want to play, eh? Cool, I'll just go ahead and slap this down. Keep playing uninteractive there, Chief. Watch him have that one Witcher, which is destroy the... No, because I need 5 units at this point, but... I'm always bad. I always just kind of play to the right. And that can occasionally bite you in the butt. Very rarely, but it can. And, well... Not in terms of that card, it's actually more frequent now that they're running the movement Witchers, that putting your valuable cards over here and they move them all the way over and kill it. especially with Movement Leader and Milva. That's something to pay attention to against that Harmony deck that's running around with the movement. Just play your valuable cards on this side so they can't move them a lot with the Saboteurs.
Pride is all we've left.
Huh, I'm shocked he didn't go for Circle of Life. Okay, this is easy.
The valley of flowers. There is no place more beautiful.
Oh.
Target acquired.
We'll just go and knock that out. You think they just need to make this card like cheaper, like just 10 provisions? Because I don't think a rework is necessary. I just think it needs to be cheaper. Like, I feel like it's way too expensive. Because it's like, yes, when you get up to the higher things and he's playing like, you know, Call of the Force or whatever, it can play for a lot of points. But you're having to play into that. So cards that you have to play into and really set up shouldn't necessarily be that expensive. Like, his flat value is just like coming out as a 4 is definitely below the 12 provision mark. So, because you can't change his power because that's counterintuitive. Okay. So yeah, watch this. This is like we bounce.
I deserve better.
Boom, and then we draw, like, you know how many points? So that's 6 onto that, so that's already 13, and then I drew that. This is going to play for 11. 24. Such a good card. Remember when he was announced, everyone just thought he was super weak. Don't get it.
You'll regret your mom ever squirted you out.
Alright, we're going to go ahead and get this set up. Okay, melee is equal to the unit's power, which it's only going to be. That's 6 points, that's 4 points. We don't have a Dryad, so we'll go for this.
For the daisy of the valley!
Yeah, this is a 2-0. Unless his, like, he's got a... Well, no, he does have a glaze, because we saw it with Bribery. Because Bribery plays off of your opponent's hand, right? It's not faction. Yeah, starting deck. So he does have an Glace. So hope he didn't have an in-hand boost, and that's going to be his one saving grace. But, I mean, just wait for this Stefan to come down. Which, don't forfeit till I get to play this, Mr. Opponent. But yeah, this is a done match. Pretty easy. So a way we would have lost this is like we lose round 1 and he bleeds all our good cards out and he just saves his hand buff on like his Sheldon and his Glace or whatever, and so in a short round 3 we just can't answer those because we have like pretty much guaranteed no tall punish in an Enslave deck. You never know. Alright, watch this.
What do you need me to do?
Nice cards, Mr. Opponent. Look at that. That combo is just so sick, and I really think it's Artod even more now needs to be played.
Illusions. You've yet to see what they can accomplish. I could drown you in a single drop.
Surprise opponent is playing. Yeah, there it is. Sweet. Pretty crazy. So yeah, that just shows you the power you can have where you set yourself up for a round to just go all in and completely wipe. Hey, and we ranked up. There you go. Good stuff, good stuff.